So, happy Wednesday. It's time for a training vlog, except we're in Japan. But there's still CrossFit in Tokyo. So we are heading to the nearest CrossFit box to do a little drop-in and get a workout in. My dad's here.
Hey, where?
Well, all right, we're gonna have to take a couple trains to get there, so we'll just fast forward this part. Pew, 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 pew. You ready to work out?
Maybe.
So we're walking up around the corner. The box is just around the corner, and I'm getting nervous. Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm mostly nervous because of like social anxiety, but also I have no idea what to expect. Found it.
Oh.
Can't miss that big old Reebok sign. We didn't even do the full workout because the full regional workout starts with 50 handstand push-ups and 50 toes to bar. Oh, and we also didn't do the regional weights. I don't think this gym had enough dumbbells for people to do the actual regional weights. So we did open RX weights, which was 50 and 35. In our version, the hardest part was definitely those box step overs. Man, they were brutal. But then once those were over, you're kind of like, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I wanted to talk about something other than just the regional workout, and it's something that I've kind of, I don't want to say I've discovered it in like the last year or so because it's not any new information. It's just something that I have found that I personally appreciate very much. And that is traveling while being a CrossFitter. I think it's such a cool experience because CrossFit, like a lot of sports, but I feel like especially in CrossFit, it's a really global sport, even just on the community level and not just at an elite athlete level, where you can be a CrossFitter at any level and go to almost any country and find a CrossFit box somewhere nearby. And if you have the means to get there, I definitely recommend it because one of my favorite things to do while I travel is drop into a CrossFit box. And you're probably thinking like, Jordan, you're on vacation. Don't be a weirdo and work out on your vacation. But let me just tell you how fun it is, because last year when I went to South Africa, I dropped in at a CrossFit box while I was in Cape Town, and it was such a fun experience because we were completely new to the area. None of us had been to South Africa before. We didn't really know what was around. And you're immediately surrounded by locals. But you have this connection with them through CrossFit. And so it's kind of like instant friends. You just gotta add a little sweat. And so you immediately, maybe friend is too strong of a word, but you immediately have this person that you can connect with over CrossFit and working out together. And you know, you can have a chat with them about what you should do in the area or what their experience is like living in this country, and just kind of like get to know the culture without being like a weirdo, just like stopping people on the street or talking to people in restaurants. It's just very cool. And so it was just a very cool experience, and so I was extra excited to then drop into a box when we went to Tokyo. And the thing that kind of was extra cool in Tokyo that I saw was that a lot of people there did not speak English. And even when we went to the CrossFit box, I mean, the coach, who by the way is Japan's fittest woman, she spoke English pretty well, and there was a handful of other English speakers there. But the girl that I was partnering up with for all of the squats, she spoke very, very, very little English. But despite that, through CrossFit and through fitness, we were able to make a connection. fitness is kind of like a universal language. We could kind of like exchange a few words like, oh, good job, like more, do you want to put more weight on, like you're doing good, you look strong. Like, you know, we were able to still support each other because this was something we do every day, and we squat the same way, and you build weight the same way, and you suffer the same way. Even though we weren't really able to have like a fully fleshed out conversation, I felt like we were friends by the end of the class. And it just was so cool that you can make this connection with someone who you cannot even have a full conversation with, just through the spirit of fitness. And it's not even specific to CrossFit. I mean, I love CrossFit, and so when you meet other CrossFitters, there's like this immediate bond. But this experience is not something that's unique to CrossFit, because as a few of you know, my dad is a professional arm wrestler, and almost every other country besides America takes arm wrestling pretty seriously. They really support their arm wrestlers, and they have arm wrestling specific gyms, the way we have CrossFit gyms, whereas my dad usually trains in some guy's basement. So something he really wanted to do was go to Tokyo's, or one of Tokyo's arm wrestling gyms, because that's something he's never done before. And so we went to this arm wrestling gym, and the guys at the arm wrestling gym spoke less English than the people at the CrossFit box. And I was kind of like, oh man, like how do we even convey what we want to do here, right? But he kind of just like motions to the table, and this guy goes up, and they lock hands, and they just start doing their thing. And in my head, I'm like, whoa, I thought like going to the CrossFit box was special, but this is crazy, because arm wrestling, when you're practicing, is such like a give and take experience. You know, it's a lot of like, okay, well, let me work on my isolation holds and my technique against you. And that other person has to know how not to hurt you, but how to apply enough resistance so that you're actually, you know, putting work in. And they locked hands and just kind of started pulling against each other and moving around. And like, it's nothing that I haven't seen my dad do before. But I kind of just had this like little epiphany where I was like, holy crap, like arm wrestling is their language. And I just was like, man, how cool is that? Like that they are able to have this connection because they're arm wrestlers. They know what to do as arm wrestlers. It doesn't matter that they can't communicate with words, but it just was so cool to me, and it really like hammered in this idea that like fitness really can be a universal language. And I know that sounds crazy to people who maybe just like go to the gym casually, but as an athlete, and even a recreational athlete, you know, like just a recreational CrossFitter, you just have this really cool connection with people all over the place. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, you can work out side by side and have that bond with them. I think it's a really cool experience, and I'm really grateful to be able to have that experience, just being able to kind of like make that connection in another country. So that's my little sappy piece about why I love traveling and working out while I travel. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Content this weekend might be a little crazy because it is the West Regionals this weekend. So the whole West Coast is coming on down to Southern California, and they're gonna compete for some spots at the games, and I'm gonna be there. Not as a competitor, as a spectator. So my point in saying that is I don't know that there will be an upload Sunday, but you'll definitely get one Monday about regionals. And then on Monday, Murph is happening. I'm sure you all know what Murph is by now. CrossFit gyms all around the world. Actually, I saw a flyer for one. The gym in Tokyo, they're doing Murph on Monday. So we're all doing Murph on Monday. I'm doing it fully RX for the very first time with my brand new vest. Ooh, my vest is right here. I just got a new vest of my very own. Last year I had to borrow Jacob's. And so I'm doing it with a vest, full through, unpartitioned. Last year I had a sprained ankle, so I had to bike. So this is gonna be my first year doing like a real, fully RX Murph. So you'll see that video as well, maybe on Wednesday. Anyway, so content this weekend is gonna be kind of jumbled, is my point, but hang tight because a lot is coming. And then next weekend, I'm going to the Atlantic Regionals in West Palm, Florida. Maybe we'll do a meetup there. So then next weekend, you're gonna get a bunch of regional content too. So let me know if you guys wanna see or hear anything specific while we're at regionals. And if I miss it this weekend, hopefully I can get it next weekend. And other than that, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, a lot of crazy stuff is coming. We've got a crazy summer. It's not even summer yet, but it's crazy already. And that's that. So be sure to like and subscribe. If you missed, well, we put up a bonus video yesterday, so if you missed that, you can watch it now. And if you missed Sunday's video, we did real life Mario Kart on the actual streets of Japan, so you can watch that too.